We'll have to hang up and call you.
Council committee or commission remediation.
We'll do that during committee of the whole.
Then we have to do all these things.
Oh, for the sewer program?
Yeah.
Not really. I mean, we have just the committee that we want to put together for the special issues, but as far as like oversight of the entire project, I don't know where it would fall.
Yep, we're
I think you're certainly capable of doing it, but I just think for, it might be a good idea to show EP. Yeah, man. Data center thing, might make sense to buy both. They're both kind of ad hoc temporary.
okay. We're going to call to order the February 2nd, 2026 City Council meeting. It is 6:15. Let's call the roll, please.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sun,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay, let's stand for the pledge. I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all. Okay. Okay. Next, can we get a motion?
I've moved that we go into executive session for the purpose of personnel hiring and contract negotiations.
Second?
Let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sun,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay. You guys, you don't need to come.
Upstairs.
All right, I'll call you back.
Oh, do you think that they should come?
Okay.
make the motion. Gotta find it.
Oh, great.
Yep.
Okay.
Yes.
We need a motion to come out of executive session?
I'd move that we adjourn from executive session.
I'll second.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay. Next, we have Committee of the Whole for the purpose of discussion of items on the agenda. I'll hand that over to Council President Sund.
Does anybody have anything you need or want to discuss or bring up?
I just have a question about I see that there are two things under new business, no, three things under new business that require emergencies. If I could just inquire as to the declaration of emergency.
Emergency, which item, please?
There are three recommendations under new business that are classified as emergencies, and I'm just inquiring as to the emergency nature.
Well, I can speak to the, at least to D, which is the moratorium. If you want that to take effect immediately, then it does have to be voted in by emergency. Otherwise, we'd have another 30 days before it takes effect.
3 readings and then 30-day waiting period.
Okay.
And then as to the Archer Energy matter, this really just came up recently. They didn't have a meeting until January 21st that I attended at Palmer Energy Company. It's related to the Northwest Ohio Aggregation Coalition. And that's at the time that they get information as to electric and natural gas pricing. And we're one of 13 communities that are part of this aggregation called NOAC, or the Northwest Ohio Aggregation Coalition. So they contract with energy suppliers to achieve the best possible prices for residents. But there's a short time period once they receive pricing information to actually enter into contracts with these different entities. So they've recommended 2 entities. They won't have the final pricing until like late February, but as part of this coalition, everything has to be signed by probably right around the 1st of March. Last year, they sent it on like one day and gave us like 1 day to return it, I think was the time window, so it was very short. So if we passed it by something other than emergency, we wouldn't be able to enter into contracts with these 2 entities. So the aggregation program that we're in allows anybody to opt out if they want. They're not tied into this permanently by any means. So if you don't like the price, or if you can find a better price, you're free to opt out of this program. Otherwise, you would be assigned that rate for natural gas and electricity. And they think for the Archer Energy for the gas supply this year, there's some kind of settlement with the PUCO that would reduce that rate if you stay with Archer Energy. So there is a benefit also to stay with Archer Energy this coming year, so.
Thank you, Alan.
Councilman Kurt?
On the moratorium proposed resolution, I think it's great. I read it, and I think Alan did a great job drafting it. It's very comprehensive. If we pass it tonight, I think we need to get started on it right away, not 8 o'clock tonight, and not this week, but right away. We need to get started on that, on our planning and our review of what needs to be done and so forth. There's no point in waiting until May, June, let's get on it, because 12 months seems like a long time, but I don't want it sneaking up on us, and we're all of a sudden in September, October, and November later this year, and and haven't done anything. So I think to that end, I would like to suggest to the mayor that we establish either a committee of council to maintain oversight of the moratorium study, and report to council every week if there's something to report. Yeah, this is what we looked at so far, and this is what we looked at, and this is what we're going to look at. I just think we need a plan. 2 weeks ago, I had suggested that I was trying to shoot for 6 months to make it less subject to being overturned by a court. But that, on my part, that was a bit, I don't think, first of all, there's not a lot of appellate decisions on moratoria yet. But I think the courts and other parties would be less interested in 6 months versus 12 months, but more interested in our good faith showing that we're doing something, that we're doing some planning. And I think having a committee or a citizens commission would go a long way into demonstrating that good faith.
Councilman Kurt, are you more interested in a citizens commission or a council committee? I will tell you that we are talking about adding this moratorium study and the conditional use zoning to the planning commission agenda for next week. But I understand since council meets more, it might be one or the other. If you were to make a choice, which are you thinking?
I would like to see it on its own committee, just an ad hoc committee that will necessarily dissolve after the moratorium has expired. So I'd like to see a committee. And along that line, I don't know whether managing our sewer remediation plan that we have with the EPA, I don't know if we have any direct oversight by council on that to make sure that I'm sure Matt's doing a great job in making sure we're crossing all the Ts and meeting all the deadlines and so forth, but I would like to see that Matt and his department be accountable to council, because that's a big thing, that EPA settlement, and I think it certainly deserves council oversight, and it would make sense. And when I say the moratorium committee should be of its own focus, I would, I guess, recommend that committee maintain oversight of the moratorium review over the next 12 months, as well as the managing the EPA requirements under the settlement with EPA.
Okay.
But wouldn't both of those are two separate things, so
They are two separate things. Yeah.
combining them kind of doesn't make any sense, because you want to concentrate on the moratorium, but then you also want to concentrate on this. And if we have just one committee to do it, that's a lot to ask of 3 people or 4 people to figure out which one's going to appease council at any given time.
Yeah, it is. I mean, if the mayor wants to appoint two committees for that purpose, that's fine. I thought perhaps if we have whatever it is, it needs to have its own focus. And I thought those two things are not related, the sewer thing and the moratorium.
So I like that idea. I will take that under consideration. I do want to tell you that coming up in March and April, we're going to have annual reports again from the departments. So they'll be giving an update on those types of things, and we're hoping to do that on a regular basis. But I like those ideas. I took that down as a note so that we can talk about it for the next meeting and see if we can get something going, because I was thinking about what you had said as well. We can't just do a moratorium and then push it off and not do any studies. That was kind of when I was on council and we had the cannabis moratorium. I voted against it because I said we didn't do any studies yet. So maybe a moratorium ad hoc study committee will look into that, and I'll do some research. We can have something for the next one. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Wonderful.
Sounds great, in fact,
Great.
as long as we do it.
Councilman Peppelmeyer?
All right, so I'd like to make a motion to remove item 10A from the consent calendar, just because we're addressing the same topic in new business item B.
I'll second that motion.
It's item B and C, right?
Yes, items B and C.
B and C.
Okay. Can we,
I'll amend my motion to that. B and C
Thank you.
thing.
can we call the roll, please?
Gonzalez,
What was the motion?
to remove 10A from consent because they're both, it's addressed under new business.
Right there in resolution form versus need for consent.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Son,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
I have a question. Go back to the committee. Would it be better to have a commission or a committee for the moratorium and for the,
I'm going to do some research into it and see what other cities do, and we can talk about it a little bit too, to see what is most common. I don't want to make any sort of commitments tonight on it without doing some research first.
I mean, we're all on a bunch of committee, couple committees each, and a commission might be easier for us as a group if we have a commission looking into it with that can report back to.
Sure.
If it's a commission, then we can put people on there who have apparently have some expertise. I mean, who has expertise in data centers these days, but put some residents on there, or people on there who understand these things and have a lot to bring to the so-called table, for the purpose of planning what we need to do, reviewing the statutes and the regulations and the other matters that go along with it. But, again,
So to kind of go along with this, Councilman Barrow, Mr. Linebaugh, when it comes to the moratorium we have on marijuana centers here in Maumee, I don't know what has been done before being on council now, but should we do something similar to research that since we have a moratorium, and what are we doing with that?
If memory serves, what we did was we put certain parameters, and they had to have a percentage of their store, not simply for the sale of marijuana. It had to be more encompassing. They had to have windows that couldn't be all, you ever been to Detroit? Or, yeah, they look like bomb shelters, some of them.
Yeah, we never really finalized any zoning parameters because, one, we didn't know what the state was going to do.
Right.
You know, they keep toying with it as to what they're actually going to allow. And also, they're also haven't decided on who gets the tax revenue from it. I don't think that's a settled issue, so one of the questions is if you're not going to get any revenue from them, do you want them here or let them stay in?
And some of the parameters, Dave, that we were putting in place was going to cost them money, and they'd rather sell all of that product they really want to push versus other things. And they had to have windows and light in the store, and, okay, never mind, we're going to go somewhere else where we don't have to do that. We don't want to make it, a place where it's a bad experience for somebody. I mean, you might not care what the building looks like if you're just going there to get that product, but people around you that live by you that have to pass and, in and out of the store might be concerned about it. Thank you.
Anything else? Anybody?
I'll add,
Mr. Gonzalez?
Go ahead.
yeah, so, to mirror, I think Waterville just added a residential or citizen committee for the data centers. I'd like to wait at least a meeting or so to see how they set up, and then we can mirror and get our stuff going as well. I think it's a great idea with what Councilman Kirk said, that we need residents so we're doing our due diligence. We're not just waiting around, kind of like we did with the moratorium with the cannabis stuff. We just said, we just don't want it right now, but we'll look into it. But I want to look into it, but make sure we get our ducks in a row with the committee eventually, or find out what we need to do it the right way.
I don't know whether this would make sense. I guess I'd have to ask Alan if we could even do it. Maybe we could partner up with, I forget who has a moratorium and who doesn't. Of the three, Waterville, and Monclova, two of them have enacted moratorium.
Waterville and Waterville Township.
Both Watervilles?
Yes.
Okay, thank you.
Not to interrupt, Councilman Kerr, but that is something we did talk about at the city caucus at the Temecog General Assembly, was to get more of a regional
Yeah.
understanding. Temecog,
Okay.
which is now Lake Erie West Council, is going to be doing their own sort of reaching out to third-party places for research about data centers in general, because there is so much misunderstandings, and it's hard to know what from fact and fiction, but I like that idea too. I know I'm going to be meeting with some officials coming up in the next week or two.
Okay.
So if we can take the next week and a half to kind of do some research, see how others are setting up, and I'll talk to them and see how far we get, because I do think it's something important that, you're right, we need to get started on it right away, and that it needs the proper amount of research and due diligence to go through.
Might even make sense, and don't shoot me, but to have somebody from, I'll just use his name, a Zach Isaacs type person, a potential, well, he's not a potential developer, but somebody who has an interest in developing, in having a data center develop. I know many people here and many, everybody, it seems like everybody in Waterville and Monclova, nobody wants a data center, and whether we should have one or not, this we'll figure out in the next 12 months, but it would be helpful, I think, perhaps to put somebody on there that, not to necessarily to advocate, let's do a data center, we gotta do a data center, but that other point of view, I think, would be helpful.
Great.
Well, can I interject?
Go ahead. Go ahead.
I'm finished, Isaiah, yeah.
Go ahead.
Yeah, so did you say that you would want, like, Mr. Isaacs to be a representative? Is that what I heard?
No, somebody, not a representative. If we have a commission, I don't want to load it up with a bunch of people who are opposed to data centers. I think it would be helpful to have the other point of view. If everybody's dead set against a data center, I think it might be helpful. I don't know, I've never done it before, none of us have. It might be helpful to have somebody else at the table and saying, well, there are some benefits, and we've all heard what those are supposed to be, and who knows whether they are or not, but I just think, I think it's always good to have a little balance. I don't know how much.
My only thing would be it'd be a residential-driven thing and not a property owner with investment. If you wanted the opposition for quality, you would want someone that works for the union, some kind of union that would benefit of working, not benefit of the sale of the land. So, I mean, moving forward, we can work on that out.
Yeah.
I just want to make sure that's clear, that that we are vetting the right people to make the right decisions on both ends, pro and con, or whatever, for everyone's view, to make the right decision for Maumee.
Yep, and that's why
I'm
we're going to
confident
take
that
that.
Chelsea will be able to handle that.
Thank you, Rosemary. We'll take the time to make sure, we'll have it be balanced and find out what other people are doing. I think it's important, but I will take all that into account.
Thank you, Mayor.
Yes, thank you.
Anything else? Hopefully no. Okay, we can conclude the committee of the whole.
Okay, great. Next are citizen comments. Do we have any? What?
Moving on. No.
Moving on, I guess. Wow, surprise. All right, we'll next need an adoption of the agenda, a motion for that.
I move we adopt the agenda.
As amended.
Good save.
As amended.
Good save.
Oh, as amended.
Second.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes,
Kappelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay, next I'll need a motion for the approval of the meeting minutes.
I move we approve the minutes of the meeting of the last meeting. January something,
20th.
19th, 20th, whatever it was.
Second.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes,
Kappelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
but just for the record, that would be the minutes of January 20th.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Next, we'll need a motion to accept petitions and communications. We do not need to read those out. If anybody wants to do that one, nice short one.
I will make a motion to accept petitions and communications and place on file.
No, second that.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes,
Kappelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay, next, I'll need a motion for the consent calendar so that we can discuss the items. I'll go through and read them.
I make a motion to approve all consent calendar items have been amended.
I'll second your motion.
Let's call the roll. Oh, forgot, sorry. I was on a roll there for a minute. Okay, first one, remember we got rid of the first A, so now the new A is a recommendation from the mayor to confirm the appointment of Brittany Roop to the position of Human Resource Manager at Step B and waive the requirement for a bachelor's degree as listed in the job description. And B is a recommendation to approve the hiring of Haku Jackson for the position of part-time technical assistant at the Maumee Indoor Theater. Any discussion? Questions, comments, concerns? Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes,
Kappelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay. New business, 11A, is a recommendation from our law director to discuss the possible amendments to the council rules.
Right, so I think all of you have a copy of the proposed changes to these rules, and the main change would be just adding some language that indicates, obviously, that this is a business meeting for the purpose of discussion and consideration of agenda items, and then making a two-comment period, one during the business meeting, having a comment period that addresses items that are on the agenda, and then a second comment period at the end of the meeting or after the meeting concludes for up to another 30 minutes for general citizen or other individuals' comments. So that would be the main thing. And then we did have some discussion about conduct at the meeting and looked at that. And I think, the final version, if you decide to adopt this or want this adopted, would be just that we're not going to put anything in there about the type of speech that somebody could use, but more so put in that they're just subject to the Ohio law as to disorderly conduct or disturbing lawful meeting provisions. The state is considering changing the state law as to disrupting a public meeting and making it a low-level felony. I don't know if that'll go through the legislature or not, but my understanding is that it's in the House. But these are really council rules, so you can adopt any rules you wish. You can retain the same rules as before. The other provision that we changed was making resolutions that they would only need one reading. They would be effective after 30 days, but you could still make emergency resolutions, because most of the resolutions that we have are of a general nature and don't really need 3 readings. There can be resolutions of support for different types of entities that we've done in the past, and it's always kind of odd to have to read them 3 times or declare that it's an emergency.
What?
Thank you, Mayor. I like kind of the ideas of making them 2 separate, not that I want to extend our meetings any, but the business meeting is, as it's been stated, for the business, and, I always want to hear what our residents have to say. and we need to get through the business part of it first. And if there's something that's on the agenda, come forward, speak your piece. If there's something that's not on the agenda, we can do that another time, because it's business first, and then the complaints or the kudos, which we don't mind hearing either, afterwards. I wouldn't mind not making the decisions tonight, it's just discussion, but I need to get into it a little deeper and a little more thoroughly, and I haven't done that as much as I wanted to yet.
Yeah, there's no emergency over it, so it can,
Okay.
Yeah, and kind of to go along with that, Councilman Barrow, is I like the idea of the 2 comment periods, because having it up front is great to hear about people's opinions about what's on the agenda and what we're voting on. The second comment period would be nice, because it gives council a chance to be able to respond, which we can't really do in the middle of a business meeting. So sometimes we just sit up here and hear something somebody's upset about. We can't really respond or do anything about it, and by the time we've gotten through the entire meeting, at that point, it ends up being forgotten. So we wanted to make sure that there was both avenues so that we can get through the business fast, but still have an avenue for residents to be able to make themselves heard. One of the other things on here that was my suggestion is putting petitions and communications before committee of the whole. We have introductions of new employees. We have all sorts of things that we like to do at the front of the meeting, so they don't have to sit around through committee of the whole or executive session or any of those things. So that was just a suggestion to move. And then changing the special committees that we voted in at the second meeting in January to turn them into standing council committees. That's all on there. So maybe we can take a look at it, make some changes, amendments.
right, if you have any suggestions or changes, you can let me know either tonight or via email, and we can incorporate those or look at those further.
I would like to see this wrapped up at the next meeting. I think we should vote on it.
So if you've got suggestions, I do know one suggestion by our public information officer. Did we change that? To do the, we now have it as post adjournment for the comments, I believe.
Right.
And then to just move it to just prior to adjournment, so it's still part of the meeting. I don't know what the
That makes sense.
way to go about it is, but that was a suggestion. Anything else on that right now?
Yeah, I'll have a question.
What do you think? Go ahead.
Is this a first reading, second reading, or are we just proposing it to, what are we doing here?
The way the council rules are set up, council rules can be changed by just a unanimous vote of council, doesn't need to be by ordinance. So if it's
Okay.
set forth at one meeting and everybody agrees, then it can pass. If not everybody agrees, then it would just be, in effect, 2 readings, if you want to call it that, as long as there's a majority vote at the first meeting to approve, then the second meeting, there'd have to be another majority to approve, and then they would pass at that point in time, or be adopted at that point in time.
I do have a question. Would this be off?
Can you, I'm sorry, Alan, can you repeat the last part where you said the first meeting approves what?
If at the first meeting there's not unanimous consent, they would still vote on whether to make the rule changes. As long as there's a majority that approved the changes, then there would be a second, at the next meeting, there would be a further vote on the rule changes, and as long as there's still a majority vote for those rule changes, they would be adopted at that meeting.
So it takes 2 votes of majority to pass 1 unanimous.
Correct.
Okay.
Would that include the language like for you?
Yep.
For-
Yes, you will no longer have to refer to me legally as Mr. Mayor at council meetings. Although we can leave that in if you want. I'm getting used to it now.
We do?
Yeah, right now in the council rules, you can only say Mr. Mayor.
So the way my voice sounds, it's reverbing, so it's Mr.
Yes. Any other discussion on that right now?
Do other cities, cities, use the 2 citizen comments, have 2 citizen comments on their agenda? I'm just wondering how that works out for bigger.
Sometimes they'll do it ad hoc, I've seen, whereas they'll have, if they do have it up front, then sometimes they open it at the end. It's not written into their rules. So this would be more of an experiment to see how it goes. We can always change it later if we find we don't need it or it's not useful. Like tonight, we didn't have any comments, to the shock of everyone. But so this would be just a way to make sure that we can get through business if we need it, and citizens can still be heard and actually interact and get answers at the end if we have some new fun legislation that fills up the chambers again.
All right. Thank you.
Okay, I'm going to move on. 11B is a recommendation from the law director. Can we get a motion on that?
I
We'll need
move
to.
to suspend the rules and declare an emergency.
I'll second that motion.
Let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes. And I move to approve Resolution 002-2026, accepting the proposal of Archer Energy LLC to extend an agreement providing natural gas suppliers through opt-out aggregation to eligible residential and small business in the city of Maumee and declaring an emergency.
Second?
Call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a recommendation, or could I get a motion on item 11C?
I move to suspend the rules and declare an emergency.
I second.
Let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
All right, and then I move to approve Resolution 003-2026, a resolution authorizing the mayor and director of finance to enter into a customer supply agreement for the provision of third-party electric generation, residential and small commercial aggregation participants within the city of Maumee and declaring the emergency.
I second.
Let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow,
Yes.
Okay. Can I get a motion for 11D?
I'll motion.
Okay, read it out.
I approve resolution
No,
0.
You got to start with the, to suspend.
Resolution.
Isaiah. Suspend the rules and declare an emergency.
Okay, yeah. Sorry, there we go. Suspend the rules and declare emergency
Second.
for.
That's good. We'll call the roll.
26.
Okay, Gonzalez,
Yes.
Hugie,
I'm going to abstain.
That's right.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes. I have a question. Alan, did we have to vote to let him abstain?
I mean, you can state the reasons, I guess. I mean, we discussed it, or I discussed it though with the mayor and with Mr. Hugie, and I'm satisfied that
Okay,
he
thank
can
you.
abstain, that his abstention won't count as a,
Do you want to
No vote.
discuss, tell them why, Andrew?
I don't mind telling.
If it's gone through Roderick.
I believe that this topic for me right now, because of recent communications that we've received and a lot of the talk in this town, that my judgment on this could be construed as an ethical violation. And for that reason, to keep myself safe from that, I've referred to the Ohio Ethics Board. I've also discussed it with Alan and with the mayor. And until we get further clarification from the Ethics Board, I've chosen to abstain from any input on this particular topic.
Thank you.
Mr. Gonzalez, you can go ahead and make your motion.
So I approve resolution 005-2026, a resolution imposing a temporary moratorium on the establishment and conversion of other structures or buildings into a data center, including the development, construction of any building, structure, use, or change of use that would allow a data center for a period of 12 months for the effective date of this resolution in order to allow the city administration and city council time to review applicable federal codes, Ohio statutes, codes, regulations, along with the city's codified ordinances relative to such activity and declare an emergency,
I second.
as declared as an emergency.
Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yeah.
Kurt,
Yes.
Peppelmeyer,
Yes.
Zund,
Yes.
Bartzy,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Alan, do we need to put on record that, ask Andy to vote or abstain?
No, he already abstained, I think, so we're covered there.
Thank you.
Okay,
Guess you shouldn't be on the committee then, huh?
It's something.
next we have mayor and council member comments. Are we going by this up here, starting with Gonzalez? Oh, starting with me, that's right, I go first. A couple of things tonight. First of all, I'm shocked that none of you came up and spoke to me, but I'll forgive you this time. Second, we did have an enormous amount of interest in the Parks and Recreation Commission that we're pulling together. With that, knowing how many we have and knowing that the Building Lands Recreation Committee will also be picking two, that's what we'll be doing for the next 2 weeks. If anybody who has put in their information, I'll be sending out an email with some questions, inviting you to that committee meeting, which I believe is next week, to sort of talk a little bit more about some of the things that you're interested in doing for that commission. Knowing that we have so much interest, again, in some of these commissions and volunteering, we are looking at some other avenues that we can bring residents in to help do some cool stuff around the city. Speaking of cool stuff around the city, we still are working on the first River Fest. We'll be doing another follow-up meeting with that. We now have quite a lot of people involved. Again, we're talking about at least a 5K, a minnow dash, some really cool events. We've got ZZ Top at the indoor, or not the real ZZ Top, it's Thunderbeard, but they're pretty good. And of course, the bait shop, Maumee Tackle, is going to be doing a tournament that day, so it should be a lot of fun. It's shaping up to be pretty interesting. Other than that, right now, we do have a lot of legislation coming down from Ohio. We're keeping a very close eye on it. One of the things that I've been doing is meeting with a lot of government officials, all the way from the federal level to the local level. So stay tuned and stay involved. Who's next?
Mr. Gonzalez.
Mr. Gonzalez.
Yep, all the way from Cancun, Mexico, sitting at a desk in a hotel room. It's amazing. I'd like to say congrats to Brittany Root, new HR manager. It's going to be an integral part of our rebuilding the city government. I'm excited for that. Also, the data center moratorium, I'm excited for that. I have great confidence, even though we put the, we're not talking about garbage tonight, but I'm confident in the dealings with that as a whole. We will get that worked out in a positive way for citizens. What else do I got here? I'm pretty sure that's just about it. Yeah, just it's 65 degrees down here. I love you guys.
All right, that's enough comments from you. Thank you.
Move on, Mayor.
It's amazing.
I'd like to make a motion to censure.
Councilman Hughie?
I don't have anything at this time.
Councilman Kurt?
I'm glad we have the moratorium, as long as we, as I've been saying all along, do what we're supposed to, do what we say, do what we have said we will do over the next 12 months, and look at everything that needs to be looked at. And I think it's a good idea to see what the Watervilles are doing, and maybe, if not formally partner up with them, at least have liaisons back and forth. I'm looking forward to seeing how this shakes out. And I'm finished.
Thank you. Councilman Peppmeyer?
Yeah, the only thing I have is, like our mayor said, the mayor, council president, and I went to the TMACOG caucuses this past week. Basically, what that is just people from around Northwest Ohio, cities, townships, schools, just basically get together and talk. And so I got to speak with a couple members of Toledo City Council, a very nice gentleman from Tiffin City Council. And so, yeah, we're definitely not on an island. And other communities have the exact same concerns we have. Data centers, marijuana, all the fun stuff. You know, we're not just the ones dealing with it. And yeah, it was pretty cool. So thankful for that. And that's all I have. Stay warm.
Council President Sun.
I would just like to thank the people that are stepping up to volunteer for the new Parks and Recreation Commission. I think it's nice that we get a lot of involvement. I look forward to seeing some of them people on there. Other than that, have a good night.
Councilwoman Bartsey.
Yes, I just want to offer an apology to Mayor Zist for referring to her by her first name.
How dare you?
Well, at least you didn't call her Mr. Mayor.
You just call me Mr.
According to the
Chelsea.
rules.
That sounds about right. Okay, and Councilman Barrow.
Thank you. Kudos to our service department, Matt. I got phone calls and texts about the snow and the ice and this and that, and I said, we're on it, we're doing this, we're doing that. Somebody said, well, how about the bridge? I said, what about the bridge? Well, somebody might be riding their bikes or walking on the bridge. I said, okay. But okay. And I sent Matt the text and got taken care of. Everybody's happy. I want to thank John Fisk, because I believe he headed up again the snow shovelers for this season. And a lot of people were really happy with it. That day I had a breakfast earlier, didn't go well. Later that night, I was able to get out and help some other people. And one address that needed a snowplow or a snowblower, chief sent me a thing that says, you need a snowblower. I went over there, I got my buddy's son, went over there and looked in the back of the truck and went back home and got the snowblower because it was a good idea. But it's nice that people come out, they turn their lights on, they're very happy. So I'm happy that program went forward. And again, thanks, John, for keeping that going. Thank you.
I just want to add on to that. We did talk about that at the staff meeting too, talking about how great our service department did do with the snow and the ice. I don't know if anybody went out of town and came back to see the huge difference of coming from places that you could barely drive and then coming to clean streets in Maumee. That was pretty cool.
I want to add on Councilman Gonzalez, you do not know what you're missing here. Just tell you.
Oh, I drove around last week, in contact with John, to about 60 houses and make sure those houses were all clear of snow on, was it Wednesday or Tuesday? So, yeah, I understand fully.
I know you do. We're just jealous.
Great. All right.
Yeah.
With that, can I get a motion to adjourn?
I make a motion to adjourn.
I will second that.
Second, third, fourth? Okay, let's call the roll.
Gonzalez,
Yep.
Yuki,
Yes.
Kurt,
Yes.
Kappelmeyer,
Yes.
Sund,
Yes.
Bartsey,
Yes.
Barrow.
Yes.
Okay, meeting adjourned.